Good morning, officer.
Good morning, Detective. I hope you've had a good breakfast. The sight over there is not very appetizing.
Oh, well, I've got used to it. When were the bones discovered?
At 5:30 a.m. by a jogger. He phoned us.
5:30 a.m. He was out and about quite early this morning.
Indeed, sir. And half an hour later, the press arrived.
How did the press find out about this so early, officer? Did you call them by any chance?
No idea, sir. These vultures seem to have a sixth sense for crime. It's either that or somebody from your police station tipped them off.
Were there any onlookers?
Yes, a couple, but I sent them away. The real run will start after people finish work, when they've got the time. We've seen it before.
Well, hold the fort, officer.
Yes, sir. I'll have to do that.
Okay, officer, that was it. Thank you.
Anytime, sir.
I'm no expert in forensics, but surely this should be covered up by a tent or something, maybe? I thought that they would need to protect this evidence from the elements like rain, sun and whatnot, and also primarily for privacy.
The skull of the corpse. Strange. This bone is quite long. Seems it's from the victim's leg. I should take the bone with me, but...
We can take the bone with us. We just need to use these evidence bags first. Although we can't just take any old bone.
That is no important evidence, I'm sure about that.
Yeah, we need to take this nice long one right here. And we also need to take some of this grass with us as well. And that is our investigation complete. It's time to head back to the yard.
I've just come back from the place where they found the bones in Epping Forest.
And? Trailblazing new findings?
I've got something here I'd like you to have a look at.
Show me.
Have you seen something like this before?
You mean, have I seen grass before? Are you trying to pull my leg?
Just smell it.
Smells slightly burnt.
Could the burning traces be caused by an open fire?
I don't really think so, Halligan. This looks scorched, as if something very hot had been lying there.
The bones were lying on this grass.
Oh, maybe somebody made a fire on the grass before the bones were lying there. That's not very unusual in parks.
That was no fireplace, Chris. The grass was burnt under the bones and just there.
Well then, maybe the bones got hot.
Can bones get that hot in the sun?
Well, I don't think this is very likely in autumn. But right now, I can't say much more about that either.
Okay, Chris. See you later on. Chris, I've got something for you here. Could you have a quick look at it?
That's a thigh bone. Also from the place where the bones were found, I suppose.
Exactly.
Okay, Brent. And what do you want to know about it?
Did somebody maybe scorch the flesh off the bone?
No, definitely not. That would look different. I suspect that it was rather cut off, or maybe taken off with acid.
Surely he would know. I would assume that if the flesh was cut off, there would be scratch marks, cut marks and such. I would assume that acids would be a lot more, well, they both would be noticeable, but noticeable in different ways.
Can you see any abnormalities?
I would have noticed them, Halligan. No fractures, No bruises. Everything quite normal.
What sex was the victim?
Judging by the structure of the bones, I think it was male. I'll write that down in my report as well, but I'll tell you right now that you won't get it before the end of the week, Halligan.
You can't tell me more than that about the bones? Chris, that doesn't help me.
There's really no more to say about the bones, Halligan. Just wait for my report. You'll have it all nicely written down then. Or, hang on a moment. If you're really interested, go and see Professor Turner. He was the supervisor of a friend's PhD thesis. That's how I met him. He works in an anthropological museum in Oxford. If anybody can say anything about the bones, he can.
Okay, thanks for the advice.
Don't mention it, Brent.
Alright, let's go to Oxford. I don't know why we can't just phone this person, but here we go.
Closed due to renovation works. Great. And now? Locked.
You could just knock, maybe? Or is that too much effort? Maybe we can speak to this person up here, but... or this one. Ah, a good old-fashioned telephone box. Now this one takes coins, but I don't believe that we have any cash on us. No.
You have to put at least 30 pence in. It won't work without money. Hey, a phone box, and I don't need a phone card. Telephone charges of British Telecom, so nobody forgets how expensive it is to use the phone.
I have no idea what this is.
Let's see if the phone number of the museum is listed in here. Museum, okay. Museum of African Studies, Museum of Ancient History. Here, Anthropological Museum. And the extension of Professor Turner? It's here. I've got it.
Alright. All we need now is 30 pence. Now, Halligan is, I'm guessing, paid a salary. So I'm guessing that he could just go to an ATM or a bank, withdraw some money, get some change, and then use it for the phone box. But this is an adventure game after all. Oh look, this looks like 30 pence in here.
Yeah, are you crazy? That's mine. Hands off, okay?
Hello, my friend.
Huh?
Can I help you somehow?
Help? Help? Nobody can help me.
Hey, don't despair. Everybody has a hard time now and then. Maybe I can do something for you.
Just leave it. I've lost everything. Everything. No money, no flat, no future. I'm finished. Simply finished.
Have you tried working? Wow.
Have you tried working?
Listen, mate. Do you want trouble? Are you from the benefit office or something like that? Bagger off, you.
Oh, I didn't want to be impolite. I'm just interested.
Bagger off, pal. You think I'm on holiday here, right?
No, of course not. I just meant...
Go on, save your breath. Bagger off.
Okay, I must be off now.
Well then. Okay.
Hello, my friend.
Huh?
How are you doing?
What? What do you want?
Have you been sitting here for long?
Long time. Very long time. Since 83.
I was born in 1983.
What happened in 1983?
I lost my job.
You sure there's nothing I can do for you?
Nah. Unless you've got money. Or at least a new bottle of cider. I don't need anybody giving me an earful. I've had enough of that.
Okay, I must be off now.
Well then. Okay.
Hello, my friend.
Huh?
What are you doing here?
Are you blind? I'm having a drink.
Can I have a drop?
Get your own bottle, mate. And get me one as well. My bottle's empty.
There's money in your hat there. Isn't that enough for a bottle of gut rot?
Oh no. Those pennies wouldn't feed a parking meter.
Have you seen anybody going into the museum?
Yeah. Just this morning, a woman. A young, pretty one.
A woman? You haven't seen a man?
Nah. Only a woman. She comes here every day. Now and again, she gives me a few pennies. Oh, I think she works in the museum.
Ah, a woman then.
So what? What's special about that? There are millions of women running about in this world.
Why is the museum being closed?
Well, it's been refurbished. At the moment, my business is running really badly.
How much did you, make today?
Well, just a poxy 60 pence.
You're right. You won't get far on that.
I stand corrected. He has 60 pence in there.
Okay, I must be off now.
Well then, okay.
They do look rather large for 20 pence pieces. Hey, nice walrus bag.
These are the beggar's bags. The beggar can make better use of them.
Maybe there's a new suit in there.
The beggar's flask. Absolutely empty.
Alright, let's go and get the beggar a drink. Get him a drink, then maybe he gives us his 60 pence. So we can call up Dr. Turner's office. But before we do that, I just want to show you one thing. Oh, no, not this. This. We have a phone right here on Halligan's desk. So why can't we use it?
That's the receiver of the telephone. I never use the receiver. That thing is just too heavy. Using the loudspeaker is much more comfortable. It doesn't work like that. You don't hear anything, and nothing happens either.
Right. So there is a telephone here on Halligan's desk that actually works. Now, I'll show you the solution for this puzzle. As you saw in the last video, we have lots of bottles on this shelf, and we have ethanol sitting right here. The prompt we had was that these bottles are rather dusty.
A bottle with some sort of chemical. Too dangerous to carry the bottle around with me. I don't even know what kind of stuff that is.
No. So let's speak to Chris, and maybe he can help us out.
Well, Halligan, how'd you get on at the museum? What did Professor Turner say? Could he help you?
The museum is closed. It's being refurbished.
Oh, well, that's bad luck. Why don't you phone him?
Yeah, why don't we phone him?
My wallet has disappeared. Have you seen it?
Your wallet? No, it isn't here. Was there much money in it?
No, a £20 note and some change.
Well, it isn't here anyway.
Okay, Chris, that's it for the moment.
Okay, Halligan. See you then. Well, Halligan, How'd you get on at the museum? What did Professor Turner say? Could he help you?
Something I wanted to ask you, Chris. What do those flasks contain?
Oh, you mean those on the shelves? They contain all sorts of different chemicals I need for my work. Indicator solutions, alcohol, things like that.
You've got a great job, Chris. Masses of alcohol and everything legal.
Nonsense, Halligan. Do you think we spend all day getting drunk with medical alcohol? Why don't you just try the stuff?
What will happen to me then?
You'll see. Well, how about it? Are you scared?
Sure, no problem.
Here, Brent, to your health. What's up? Go ahead, try it. You won't get one of these so often.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
To your health, Brent. An interesting aroma.
Isn't it? Brent, aren't you feeling very well? Brent, are you sure you're okay?
God damn it. You could knock someone out cold with this kind of stuff, Chris. Chris?
Scotland Yard's finest. At least we know that this stuff actually works, but maybe it works a little bit too well. Now we need to know which of these bottles that Chris picked up, and we can do that with this here.
Fingerprint powder.
Yep, that's it.
Look what we've got here. This is the bottle Chris took.
And he only used one finger, apparently. And we already know that we are not able to take this bottle with us. No? Oh, okay. Yeah, that slightly threw me off.
Stop. I don't think it's a good idea to take the bottle out of the lab. Chris will be back quite soon. He'll notice it at once.
Now, let's go back to Oxford. Oxford is about 60 miles away from Scotland Yard, so we are doing a lot of running around just for 60 pence. I'm sure the petrol would have cost more for travelling back and forth like this. Get this down your neck.
I got you something. Here you are.
What's that? Phew, that stinks like a million petrol stations.
Alcohol. Purest alcohol.
You want to kill me, pal? Stop your heart, that stuff. Drink it yourself.
I thought you drank everything.
Yeah, but not pure alcohol. Drink the bloody stuff yourself.
Now the flask is full, with ethanol and apple juice. I've got something for you. Apple schnapps from Detective Halligan's home distillery. My own brand. Would you like to have a taste?
You serious? All right, pal. I'm as dry as the bottom of a parrot's cage.
Why don't you drink it all? I don't mind. And it's a cracker, I can tell you.
Cheers, mister.
Cheers.
Doesn't that make you feel good? We have knocked a beggar unconscious and stolen his money. Even though we have a perfectly good phone in our office, that works.
Let's see if the phone number of the museum is listed in here. Museum, okay. Museum of African Studies, Museum of Ancient History. Here, Anthropological Museum. And the extension of Professor Turner? It's here. I've got it.
Hello?
Hello, who's that?
Who am I speaking to?
This is Detective Halligan from Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard? What can I do for you?
I need to speak to Professor Turner. Doesn't he work at the museum?
Yes, but he's away on business.
But I really need to speak to him urgently.
Professor Turner will not be available while he's on his expedition. I'm afraid you'll have to wait.
Where has he gone to?
Kenya. It's a long expedition.
Look, miss. What was your name?
Goodbye, Mr. Halligan.
She's hung up.
We now need to speak to Chris again, but instead of calling him here, using our stolen money, we need to drive the 60 miles back to Scotland Yard.
Well, Brent, still got a headache?
Don't ask, Chris.
Have you managed to contact Professor Turner?
Yeah, I phoned him, but he wasn't in.
Not in?
He's on an expedition. I just talked to some woman who works there.
With his extension number?
Yes, exactly.
Well, Halligan, that was probably his daughter Melanie. She works in the museum as well. My friend told me a lot about her. He used to be really keen on her.
So, Professor Turner has a daughter. Thanks, Chris. I think that'll help me.
All right. Now back to Oxford again.
Hello?
Hello, this is Halligan again. Please don't hang up, Miss Turner.
How do you know my name, Mr. Halligan?
Chris Hecker told me that Professor Turner's your father.
Yes, that's true.
What do you do at the museum?
I'm an anthropologist.
The same as your father.
Yes?
Miss Turner, do you think you could help me?
That depends. What's the trouble?
I found a bone that I've had examined at the lab.
A bone? A human bone?
Yes, of course. It belonged to a murder victim.
Murder? How awful.
The bone is from the body of one of the victims of the skeleton murders. I take it you've read about them?
Oh, good heavens, yes. What can I do for you?
Couldn't we discuss that inside?
Certainly. Come on over. I'll let you in. Mr. Halligan?
Yes, that's right. Hello, Miss Turner. Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time.
No problem. We're closed anyway. The museum is being refurbished.
It's not easy to get in touch with you. I was close to giving up.
Oh, you mean because of the phone call? I'm really sorry. I do sometimes tend to be rather short on the phone. You know, I get unpleasant calls sometimes, and that's why I'm a bit suspicious.
I see. Well, I finally got in touch with you.
Would you like to come in?